Hello, everyone, and welcome to Code Your English, the podcast that helps you practice your English listening and speaking while learning something new for your life. Today's episode is all about one very important skill: learning to be more flexible. So, take a deep breath, get comfortable, and get ready to think, speak, and grow in English together. Have you ever noticed how life doesn't always go as planned? Maybe you prepared for an exam and the time changed. Maybe you planned to meet a friend, but something unexpected happened. Or maybe you were learning English in one way, and then you realized you needed to try a different method. These moments happen to all of us. Life often asks us to change, to adapt, and to stay open. That is what being flexible means, to stay calm and positive when things are not the same as we expected. In simple words, being flexible means you can change easily and still keep moving forward. In today's world, flexibility is not just a good skill, it is an essential one. In work, flexibility helps you solve problems faster and get along better with people. At school, it helps you learn new things without giving up when something feels difficult. In life, it helps you feel less stressed when plans change suddenly. A flexible person can adjust, stay calm, and find another way to reach their goal. And here is something important. Flexibility is not only about changing your plans, it is also about changing your mind, being open to new ideas, new people, and new ways of doing things. In this episode, you will learn what flexibility really means and why it can make your life easier and happier. We will talk about a short story that shows how flexibility helps people grow. You will learn some easy and useful tips that you can use in your daily life. We will also have small exercises where you can practice your English speaking while learning to be flexible. At the end, you will answer a few simple reflection questions to help you think about your own habits and how you can start making small changes today. As you listen, try to relax and follow the rhythm of my voice. This is not just a lesson, it is a practice. When you listen carefully, you improve your listening skills. When you repeat aloud, you improve your speaking skills. So, in this podcast, you are learning English and learning life skills at the same time. Let's begin with a small speaking practice. Repeat after me slowly. I can be more flexible. Say it again with confidence. I can be more flexible. These simple words are powerful. They remind you that flexibility is something you can learn and build step by step. It is not something you are born with. It is something you can train like a muscle. Now, before we move to the next part, let's do a small exercise together. Take a few seconds to think of one change that happened to you this week. Maybe you had to change your plan. Maybe something didn't go as expected. What did you do? How did you feel? Think about it for a moment. If you want, say it softly in English. For example, this week, my plan changed, but I stayed calm. Take about 30 seconds to reflect. Good. You see, even thinking about small changes helps your mind become more flexible. So stay with me until the end of this episode, because today, you will not only learn English, you will also learn how to adapt, how to stay calm, and how to grow stronger in a world that keeps changing. Remember, Code Your English is the channel where every word you learn helps you shape a better, more confident version of yourself. What does flexible mean? Let's take a closer look at the word flexible. This word sounds simple, but it carries a deep and powerful meaning. In English, flexible means being able to change your ideas, plans or actions without too much stress or anger. A flexible person can stay calm even when things don't go as planned. They can react in a positive way when a situation changes. Think of it like this. If life is like water, being flexible means learning to flow with it, not fight against it. Imagine a rubber band. When you stretch it, it doesn't break easily. It bends and moves. That is flexibility. You can also think about a tree in the wind. When strong wind blows, a flexible tree bends gently but does not fall. It moves with the wind and then returns to its place. That is how flexibility works in life too. When things change, a flexible person doesn't break down or become angry. They adapt. They try to find a new way to handle the problem. In simple words, being flexible means being able to change without losing your calm. It means you can look at a situation and think, okay, things are different now. What can I do? Instead of saying, this is not what I wanted. When you are flexible, you focus more on finding solutions than on blaming problems. You try to adjust, and that helps you grow stronger inside. Let's look at some everyday examples. Imagine you have a meeting at 10 a.m. You prepare everything carefully, but then your boss or teacher says, "We will start at 11 instead." If you are flexible, you do not get upset. You simply adapt. Maybe you use that extra hour to check your notes, drink some tea, or do another small task. You stay calm, and you continue your day without stress. That is flexibility in action. Here's another example. Suppose you plan a trip with your friends. You are excited, your bags are ready, and suddenly it starts to rain heavily. The bus gets canceled, or the road is closed. Now, you have two choices. You can become angry, complain, and spoil your mood. Or you can take a deep breath and say, "It's okay. Let's do something else today." Maybe you stay home, watch a movie, or plan the trip for another day. That is also flexibility, the ability to react with calmness when things don't go your way. Flexibility helps us in many parts of life. In work, it helps you when your team changes plans or deadlines. In school, it helps you when your teacher changes the topic or when you have to learn something new in a short time. In your personal life, it helps you deal with unexpected events, like a family plan that changes or a friend who cancels a meeting. Being flexible does not mean you are weak. It means you are strong enough to handle change. You are open-minded and ready to learn something new from every situation. Now, let's look at the opposite. What does it mean to be not flexible? People who are not flexible often get angry or worried when things change. They might say, "Why did this happen? I don't like it." Or, "No, I want things my way." They become stressed when plans don't go exactly as they imagined. We sometimes call such people stubborn. A stubborn person refuses to change even when change is needed. They get stuck in one way of thinking. Being stubborn makes life harder because life itself is full of changes. Nothing stays the same forever. Not people, not work, not the world around us. So, if we stay stuck, we will feel frustrated more often. Flexibility, on the other hand, makes life smoother and more peaceful. Now let's do a short speaking practice together. Repeat after me slowly. Flexible means I can change my plans and stay calm. Pause for a moment and say it again. Flexible means I can change my plans and stay calm. Let's try another example together. Repeat after me. If my meeting time changes, I can stay calm and use the time well. Good. One more. If my travel plan changes, I can find a new plan and still be happy. Excellent. Speaking these sentences helps your brain remember not just the English words, but also the meaning behind them. When you say them aloud, you are practicing both language and life skill at the same time. Now, it's your turn to make it personal. Think for a few seconds about your own life. Can you remember one small moment when your plan changed recently? Maybe you wanted to study, but the internet didn't work. Maybe you planned to go out, but it started raining. What did you do? Did you stay calm or feel angry? Take about 30 seconds to think. You can even say your sentence out loud in English. For example, my class was canceled, so I studied at home instead. Or, the weather changed, so I watched a movie instead of going out. If you can make even one simple sentence like this, you are already practicing flexibility in your mind and in your English. Each time you face change, try to remember today's message. Say to yourself, "It's okay. I can adapt. I can learn from this." That small sentence will help you stay calm, stay strong, and keep moving forward, no matter what happens. So, remember this definition. Being flexible means being able to change ideas or plans without stress. It means staying open, calm, and ready to react wisely when things change. In the next part, we will explore why this skill is so useful and how it can make your life easier, happier, and more successful. Stay with me, keep your mind open, and let's keep learning together here on Code Your English. Why flexibility is useful. Now that we understand what flexibility means, let's talk about why it is so useful and how it can help you in your daily life. Many people think flexibility is just about changing plans, but in truth, it is much more than that. It is a skill that touches every part of your life: your emotions, your relationships, your learning, and even your success at work. When you become more flexible, you do not just handle problems better. You begin to live with more peace, confidence, and balance. Let's start with the first big benefit: less stress. Life is full of small surprises, and not all of them are pleasant. Maybe the bus is late, your class is canceled, or your internet stops working during an important meeting. If you react with anger or frustration every time something unexpected happens, you will spend your day feeling tired and unhappy. However, if you are flexible, you can stay calm and think, "It's okay. I can do something else now." You do not waste your energy on things you cannot control. You learn to let go, to breathe, and to find new options. This simple mindset change reduces your stress and makes your mind lighter. The second benefit of flexibility is better relationships. Have you ever argued with a friend or a family member because you both wanted different things? Maybe one person wanted to go out, while the other wanted to stay home. Or maybe you and a coworker had different opinions on how to finish a project. When you are flexible, you learn to listen and understand the other person's point of view. You do not insist that your way is always right. Instead, you look for solutions that make both people happy. This small change can make your relationship stronger and more peaceful. People like to be around someone who is easy to talk to and open to new ideas. Flexibility helps you become that person. The third benefit is more learning. When you are flexible, you keep your mind open to new information, new experiences, and new ideas. You do not think, "I already know everything." Instead, you think, "What can I learn from this?" That kind of thinking makes you grow faster. For example, imagine a student learning English who always studies in one way, reading only grammar books. One day, She tries listening to podcasts or speaking with others online. At first, it feels strange, but she keeps trying. Soon, she learns faster because she is flexible in her methods. When you allow yourself to try new things, you discover new ways to improve. That is how flexible people keep learning and moving forward. The fourth benefit is more chances in work and life. The world today is changing quickly. Jobs, technology, and even languages are evolving every year. People who can adapt easily get more opportunities. For example, imagine a young student who has just finished school and is looking for a job. He plans to work in one field, but suddenly he gets an offer for a different kind of job that uses English every day. If he is flexible, he will say, "I can try this and learn." Later, that new job might help him grow faster, meet new people, and build a better future. Flexibility helps you see new paths where others see problems. It gives you more chances to learn, earn, and succeed. Now let's look at a short example. Imagine a student named Amina. She was studying computer science and wanted to become a software engineer. One day, her university changed the project requirements, and she had to work with a new team on a new topic she didn't know well. At first, she felt upset and confused. She thought, "Why did they change this now?" But instead of complaining, she decided to stay calm and adapt. She learned a new skill, worked hard with her new team, and discovered she actually liked the new project even more. Later, she used that skill to apply for a job, and she got it. If she had stayed stubborn and refused to change, she might have missed that opportunity. Flexibility opened a new door for her future. So, as you can see, flexibility is not just about reacting calmly. It also helps your mental health. When you are flexible, you do not hold on to negative emotions for long. You become more peaceful inside. You feel more confident because you trust yourself to handle change. You start believing that no matter what happens, you can find a way to move forward. This reduces fear and increases happiness. Over time, it makes you stronger and more positive. Let's do a small speaking practice together. Repeat these short phrases slowly after me. Less stress. Better relationships. More learning. More chances. Excellent. These are the 4 big benefits of being flexible. Say them one more time with energy and confidence. Less stress. Better relationships. More learning. More chances. Now, take a few seconds and think quietly. Which of these benefits do you want most in your life right now? Maybe you want to feel less stress. Maybe you want to have better relationships or more learning opportunities. Take a short pause and choose one. If you can, say it softly in English. I want to have more learning, or I want to have less stress. Saying it aloud helps you make it real. Remember, flexibility is a skill that connects with every part of life. It helps you deal with problems calmly, find solutions quickly, and grow stronger with each new challenge. It teaches you to learn from change instead of fearing it. And the more you practice it, the more confident, peaceful, and open-minded you become. So, when life changes, and it always does, just take a breath, smile, and remind yourself, I can be flexible, I can learn, and I can grow. Stay with me, because in the next part of this episode, we will talk about the different types of flexibility, mental, emotional, and even physical, and how each of them can help you live a calmer, stronger, and happier life. You are listening to Code Your English, where every word helps you build your best self. Types of flexibility: mental, emotional, physical. When people hear the word flexibility, they often think only about physical movement, like stretching your body or touching your toes. But in real life, flexibility is much more than that. It is a quality that starts in your mind, lives in your emotions, and even shows in your body. Being flexible means being able to adapt, to relax, and to keep balance in different parts of your life. There are three main types of flexibility: mental flexibility, emotional flexibility, and physical flexibility. Each type helps you in a different way, and together they make you stronger, calmer, and more prepared for life's changes. Let's begin with mental flexibility. This is the ability to change your ideas, thoughts, or plans when a situation changes. Mentally flexible people are not stuck with only one way of thinking. They are open-minded and ready to see new possibilities. For example, imagine you are studying English every morning, but one day your schedule changes. You could say, "Oh no, now I can't study at all." Or you could be flexible and say, "Okay, maybe I can study in the evening instead." That simple shift in thinking shows mental flexibility. It is about finding another way instead of giving up. Mental flexibility also helps you when you face new information. Suppose you believed that learning English grammar is the most important part of language learning. Then you listen to someone who says, speaking and listening are also important. If you are mentally flexible, you do not reject this new idea immediately. You think about it, try it, and maybe you find that it works better for you. This kind of open thinking helps you grow faster and solve problems more easily. It also helps you become more creative and confident when things do not go exactly as planned. Let's do a short speaking practice. Repeat after me. I can change my plan and stay calm. Say it again slowly. I can change my plan and stay calm. That simple sentence represents mental flexibility, your ability to adapt your thinking when life changes direction. Now, let's move to emotional flexibility. This type of flexibility is about how you manage your feelings when things go wrong or when life becomes stressful. Emotionally flexible people know that feelings are normal: sadness, anger, disappointment. But they do not let those feelings control their actions. They take a deep breath, calm their mind, and choose how to respond. For example, imagine you studied very hard for a test, but your results were not as good as you expected. It is natural to feel upset, but emotional flexibility helps you react wisely. Instead of saying, "I'm terrible at this," you can say, "It's okay. I can learn from my mistakes and try again." You accept the feeling, but you do not let it stop you. That is emotional flexibility, the power to stay calm inside, even when things outside are not perfect. Emotional flexibility also makes your relationships smoother. When someone disagrees with you, you can listen without becoming angry or defensive. You can express your thoughts calmly and respect the other person's feelings too. Over time, this helps you build stronger connections because people trust you to stay balanced and understanding. Now, let's repeat a simple sentence together to remember this. I can control my feelings and stay calm. Once more. I can control my feelings and stay calm. This short line reminds you that your emotions are your choice. You can manage them with awareness and practice. Finally, let's talk about physical flexibility, which is the most visible kind. Physical flexibility is the ability to move your body easily and comfortably. It helps you stay healthy, relaxed, and full of energy. When your body is flexible, you can stretch, walk, exercise, or even sit for long hours without pain or stiffness. Physical flexibility often supports your mental and emotional health as well. When your body feels relaxed, your mind feels lighter, and your emotions become calmer. For example, imagine you wake up in the morning feeling tired and a bit stressed. You stand up, stretch your arms, take a few deep breaths, and move your shoulders gently. In just a few minutes, your body feels better, and your mind feels clearer. That is physical flexibility, your body's way of adapting, relaxing, and releasing tension. Even a short walk, a bit of stretching, or gentle exercise every day can help you stay flexible in both body and mind. Let's practice one more speaking line together. I can relax my body and move easily. Say it slowly again. I can relax my body and move easily. When you repeat this, you remind yourself to care for your body, because a flexible body supports a flexible mind. So, to summarize, mental flexibility helps you change your ideas and plans when needed. Emotional flexibility helps you control your feelings and stay calm. Physical flexibility helps you relax your body and stay active. Together, these three types of flexibility make you a balanced, adaptable, and stronger person. When your mind, heart, and body work together, you can face change with peace instead of fear. Now, let's take a short pause for reflection. Think quietly for a moment. Which type of flexibility is easiest for you? Do you find it easy to change your ideas and plans? Or are you better at staying calm when things go wrong? Maybe you take care of your body and exercise often, so physical flexibility feels natural to you. Take a few seconds and say it softly to yourself in English. For example, for me, mental flexibility is easiest, or I am good at emotional flexibility. This simple reflection helps you understand where you are strong and where you can grow. Remember, you do not need to be perfect in all areas. You can build flexibility step by step by practicing small changes in your thoughts, your feelings, and your body. Over time, these small steps create big results. So, the next time something changes suddenly, whether it's your schedule, your mood, or your physical energy, pause and ask yourself, can I be flexible right now? Take a breath, adapt, and move forward. That is how you train your mind, your heart, and your body to work together in harmony. Stay with me, because in the next part of this episode, we will explore something very important. Why being flexible can sometimes feel difficult, and what common obstacles stop people from adapting easily. You will also learn how to overcome those obstacles in simple, practical ways. This is Code Your English, helping you build not only better English, but also a better mindset for life. Common obstacles. Why being flexible is hard. Being flexible is not always easy. Many people like the idea of flexibility, but when real change happens, it can feel uncomfortable or even scary. That is completely normal. Our minds and bodies often prefer what feels familiar. The same habits, the same routines, the same way of thinking. Change requires energy, courage, and patience, and sometimes it challenges the feeling of control that people like to have over their lives. In this part, let us explore some of the common obstacles that make flexibility hard. Fear, habit, and the need for control. By understanding these obstacles, you can start to recognize them in yourself and take small steps to overcome them. The first and most powerful obstacle is fear of change. Change can make anyone feel nervous because it brings something new, something uncertain. The mind often asks, what if this doesn't work? Or, what if I make a mistake? This fear can make people resist trying new things. For example, imagine a person who has spoken their native language all their life and now wants to speak English more often. Deep inside, they might worry about making mistakes or sounding strange. That small fear can stop them from practicing. However, flexibility grows only when you move through that fear. Fear does not mean danger, it just means you are learning something new. Sometimes fear comes from the desire to stay in control. People often want life to go exactly as they planned. When something unexpected happens, a plan changes, a task takes longer, or someone disagrees, they feel stress. This reaction comes from the fear of losing control. Yet true flexibility is not about losing control. It is about learning how to adjust your control. For instance, if your friend cancels a meeting, you can still choose what to do next. Use the time for reading, resting, or doing another task. Flexibility means you are still in charge, just in a different way. The second big obstacle is habit. Habit is powerful because it is automatic. People repeat the same actions, eat the same food, take the same route to work, and think the same thoughts every day. The brain likes routine because it saves energy. However, when habits become too strong, they create a small box around you. You begin to feel safe only inside that box. Trying something new, a new food, a new exercise, a new learning method, can feel uncomfortable simply because it is different. For example, if you always study English by reading, trying to speak with someone may feel strange or difficult. You might think, "This is not how I usually learn." That thought comes from habit, not from your real ability. To be flexible, you do not need to break all your habits at once. You only need to add one small change at a time. Each small change trains your mind to accept new experiences. The third common reason flexibility feels difficult is worry about mistakes. Many people believe that being wrong means failing, but in truth, mistakes are a normal part of growth. When you learn a new skill, your brain builds new connections. Mistakes are signs that your brain is learning. Yet many people fear being judged or laughed at. For example, when someone starts speaking English in front of others, they might think, "What if they laugh at my accent?" That worry freezes them, and they stop trying. Real flexibility means you give yourself permission to learn slowly, to make errors, and to improve step by step. Remember this simple idea: fear, habit, and worry are not signs of weakness. They are part of being human. Everyone faces them, even confident people. What matters is not avoiding these feelings, but responding to them in a calm and patient way. You can start small. You can say to yourself, "It's okay to feel nervous. I can take one small step today." When you act despite fear, your confidence slowly grows, and the fear becomes smaller each time. Now, let's practice one short speaking line together to build that positive mindset. Repeat after me. Small steps are good. Say it again, slowly and clearly. Small steps are good. Yes, that is true. Big change starts from small steps. One flexible thought, one small action, one calm breath. These are all signs of progress. Let's do a quick reflection exercise. Take a moment and think about this question. What is one small fear that makes it hard for you to be flexible? Maybe it is fear of speaking English in front of others, fear of trying a new activity, or fear of making mistakes at work or school. Say it quietly to yourself in English. For example, I am afraid of making mistakes. Or, I worry about what people think. This exercise helps you notice the feeling instead of running away from it. When you name your fear, you begin to understand it. And once you understand it, it starts to lose power. Flexibility begins when you stop fighting your fears and start working with them patiently. So, the next time you feel worried or stuck, remind yourself that this feeling is not a sign of failure. It is simply part of learning. Everyone finds flexibility difficult sometimes. What makes the difference is your response. You can pause, breathe, and take one small step forward. Over time, those small steps will become a natural part of who you are. Stay tuned, because in the next part, we will move from understanding obstacles to learning how to build real flexibility. Simple, practical ways to make your mind, emotions, and body more adaptable in daily life. Remember, small steps are good, and each one brings you closer to becoming the flexible, calm, and confident version of yourself. 5 practical steps to become more flexible. Now that you understand what flexibility means and what makes it hard, let us move to the most important part of this episode: how to actually become more flexible in daily life. Flexibility is not something that appears overnight. It is built through small, consistent actions. Each day gives you a chance to practice being more open, calm, and adaptable. In this section, we will explore 5 simple and practical steps that can help you train your flexibility. Each step comes with an easy explanation, a real-life example, and a short speaking or reflection exercise that you can do right now. So, as you listen, try to follow and even speak along when invited. Remember, practice makes progress. Step 1. Start small. The best way to build flexibility is to begin with small changes. You do not need to change your whole life to become adaptable. You can simply start with one small thing. Small changes are powerful because they train your brain to accept something new without stress. For example, you can change the route you take to work or school. You can study your English lessons in a different order. You can even try using your non-dominant hand for simple tasks like brushing your teeth or opening a door. These little changes tell your mind, I can handle something different. Today, try to make one small change in your routine. Maybe you can eat breakfast at a new place, talk to someone new, or learn one new word. These small actions may seem simple, but they are the first steps toward real flexibility. Now, let's practice speaking. Repeat after me. Today I will try a small change. Chund. Say it again, and fill in the blank with your own idea. For example, today I will try a small change. Studying in the park. Well done. Every small change counts. Step 2. Use yes and thinking. This is one of the most powerful techniques to stay flexible in both language learning and life. Yes and thinking means accepting what happens or what someone says, and then adding something positive to it. It helps your mind stay open instead of immediately saying no or but. For example, imagine your friend says, let's meet at 3 p.m. You could reply, yes, and let's go to the park. In this way, you accept their idea and build on it. It feels good for both people, and it helps you practice creative thinking. You can use yes and once a day in your conversations. Maybe at work, school, or even while practicing English. It will help you stay positive and flexible when new ideas appear. Let's practice together. Repeat slowly after me. Yes, and I also think we can try. Good. Try saying your own version. Yes, and I also think we can try watching a movie in English. This small language practice builds an open and adaptable mindset. Step 3. Change the plan, not the goal. Being flexible does not mean giving up your dreams. It means being willing to find new ways to reach them. Sometimes your plan might not work exactly as you hoped, but that does not mean your goal is impossible. For example, imagine your goal is to study English for 2 hours each evening, but one day you have guests or a busy schedule. Instead of feeling disappointed, you can change your plan. You can study in short 15-minute sessions during the day or listen to an English podcast while cooking. The goal, improving your English, stays the same, only the path changes. Let's do a quick reflection exercise. Think of one goal you have right now. Maybe it is learning English, exercising more, or waking up earlier. Now, imagine 3 different ways to reach that goal. For example, my goal is to improve my English. One way is to listen to podcasts. Another way is to read short stories. Another is to talk to a language partner. Now repeat this short speaking prompt. My goal is san sanin fo, sanadyo train fo. One way is yadin fo, sanin fo, dan sanin to. This mindset keeps your motivation strong, even when things do not go as planned. Step 4. Learn to manage emotions. Flexibility is not only about what you do, but also about how you feel. When something changes suddenly, emotions can rise. Stress, anger, fear, or worry. To stay flexible, you need to calm your emotions before reacting. One simple way to do this is to breathe. When you take slow, deep breaths, your body relaxes and your mind becomes clearer. You can also name your feeling. For example, say to yourself, I feel frustrated, or I feel worried. Naming your emotion helps you understand it instead of fighting it. Let's practice together right now. Sit comfortably and take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for a moment. Now, slowly breathe out through your mouth. Again, breathe in and out. One more time. In and out. Good. Feel how your body becomes lighter. This is how you manage your emotions and prepare your mind to adapt calmly. Now repeat after me. I feel blank, and I will breathe. Fill in your emotion, like I feel stressed, and I will breathe. This short practice can help you stay calm whenever things change unexpectedly. Step 5. Practice flexible language. The words you use every day shape how flexible your mind becomes. When you use soft and open language, your thoughts naturally become more adaptable. For example, instead of saying, I must do this, you can say, I can try to do this. Instead of, it will never work, you can say, maybe it can work in another way. These small changes in language make a big difference. They reduce pressure and help your mind stay curious and creative. Let's try this together. Think of one sentence you often say with the word must. Maybe, I must finish this today, or I must speak perfectly. Now, change it into a flexible sentence. I can try to finish this today, or I can try to speak better. Can you feel the difference? The second version feels lighter, calmer, and more open to growth. Repeat after me slowly. I can try. Say it again. I can try. These simple words invite flexibility into your thoughts and actions. So, these were 5 practical steps to help you become more flexible. Start small, use yes and, thinking, change the plan, not the goal, manage your emotions, and practice flexible language. Each one may seem simple, but together they can completely change how you respond to life's challenges. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. Flexibility is not about perfection. It is about progress. Every time you choose calmness, openness, or creativity, you are becoming stronger, smarter, and more adaptable. Keep these 5 steps in your mind and heart. Use them daily, especially when life surprises you. They will not only make you a better English learner, but also a wiser, more peaceful human being. Short story or real-life example. Now let's move into one of the most enjoyable parts of this episode. A short story that shows how flexibility can truly change a person's life. Stories help us understand ideas better because they bring real emotions, real actions, and real growth. So, listen carefully to this simple story and imagine the situation as if it were happening around you. This story is about a young woman named Lena, who worked as a graphic designer in a small company. Lena was talented, creative, and very organized. She liked to plan everything, her work schedule, her meals, and even her free time. Every morning she followed the same routine. She arrived at the office at exactly 9 a.m., made her coffee, and started designing. Her colleagues often said, "Lena is so good at planning." And yes, she was. However, one day, something unexpected happened that tested her ability to be flexible. Her company got a new manager who wanted to change the way the team worked. Instead of everyone sitting quietly at their desks, he introduced a more open, team-based system. Now, people had to share ideas, switch projects often, and try new design styles. At first, Lena did not like it at all. She felt uncomfortable when her plan changed suddenly. She thought, "Why can't we just do things the old way?" It was easier and faster. She became frustrated and tired. She started to worry that she would not be able to keep up with the new system. One afternoon, while talking to her friend Sarah during lunch, Lena said, "Everything is changing too fast. I can't control anything." Sarah smiled and replied, "Maybe you don't need to control everything. Maybe you can just try something small and see what happens." That sentence made Lena think deeply. She decided to take one small step instead of fighting all the changes at once. The next day, when the manager asked the team to design something new in pairs, Lena said yes instead of saying no. She worked with her colleague Tom, who had very different ideas from hers. At first, it felt strange. Tom liked bright colors and bold designs, while Lena preferred calm and clean styles. However, as they worked together, something interesting happened. Lena realized she could learn from Tom's style, and he could learn from hers. They started to mix their ideas, and soon their design became something beautiful, something they could not have made alone. Their teamwork was noticed by the manager, who praised them for being creative and adaptable. Lena felt proud, not because she controlled everything, but because she learned to let go and adapt. From that day, Lena made a decision to keep practicing flexibility. Whenever a plan changed, she told herself, "I can try." When something new came her way, she said, "Yes, and let's see how it goes." Slowly, her stress started to disappear. She began to enjoy her work again. She learned that flexibility did not mean losing control. It meant growing stronger and discovering new possibilities. A few months later, she even got a promotion because her team trusted her and enjoyed working with her open attitude. This story teaches a clear and simple moral. Small steps lead to big change. Lena did not change her whole life in one day. She started with one small step, saying yes instead of no. Over time, those small steps helped her become more confident, calmer, and more successful. Flexibility helped her not only at work, but also in her daily life. She became more patient with people, more creative in her projects, and more peaceful with herself. Now, let's make this story part of your speaking and listening practice. Take a moment to think about what happened to Lena. Can you tell the story in 1 or 2 simple sentences? Try it out loud, even if you are alone. For example, you can say, Lena learned to be flexible at work. She changed her attitude and became more successful. Or, Lena was afraid of change, but she took small steps and became happier. Take a few seconds to say it in your own words. This short speaking practice will help you remember the meaning of flexibility, and at the same time, you will improve your English fluency. So, what can you learn from Lena's story? The lesson is that being flexible is not about being weak or losing control. It is about being strong enough to face change with a calm and open heart. It is about understanding that change is not the enemy. It is the path to learning, growth, and success. When you practice flexibility, life becomes easier because you stop fighting against change and start flowing with it. So remember Lena's example the next time your plans change or something unexpected happens. Take one small step. Say, yes, and try a new way. Use flexible language. Breathe and move forward. Because just like Lena, you can also build a flexible mind, a flexible heart, and a flexible life. One small step at a time. Tips to build flexibility every day. Now that you understand what flexibility means and how to build it through practical steps, let us finish with something very useful. Simple daily habits that you can practice every day. Flexibility, just like a muscle, becomes stronger when you train it regularly. You do not need big changes or long exercises. What you need are small, repeated actions that slowly reshape how you think, feel, and react to change. The more you practice these habits, the more natural flexibility will become in your life. Let's go through a few short, easy habits that you can start using today. You can do them anywhere, at home, at work, or while studying English. Listen carefully, and after each one, try to repeat the sentence aloud. This will help you improve your English speaking while training your flexible mindset. The first simple habit is try a new route once a week. This may sound very small, but it has a powerful effect. When you take a different route, maybe to work, school, or the market, you teach your brain to notice new things and accept new patterns. You may see new people, new places, or even feel new emotions. It reminds you that life is full of options and that change can be interesting. Try to do this at least once a week. Even if it is a short walk, let yourself explore. Now repeat after me slowly. I will try a new route this week. Good. Feel how simple and calm that sounds. The second habit is say maybe once a day in a decision. Many people are used to saying yes or no too quickly. When you say maybe, you give yourself a moment to think. It opens a small door for flexibility. Maybe means you are not closing the idea completely. You are staying open to possibilities. For example, when someone suggests something new, instead of saying no, you can say, maybe. Let's think about it. This small word keeps your mind calm and curious. Now say it aloud with me. Maybe. Let's think about it. Excellent. Use this phrase at least once today and notice how it changes your conversations. The third habit is read a short article with a new idea. Flexibility is also about mental openness. the ability to learn from new opinions, cultures, or experiences. When you read something new, your mind stretches and grows. You do not have to agree with everything you read, but you can learn something from it. Try reading a short article or watching a short video on a topic that you do not usually choose. It could be about art, science, travel, or even food. Listen or read with an open mind. Then ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Repeat this sentence slowly. I can learn something new every day. This habit keeps your mind fresh and flexible. The fourth habit is, do a short breathing exercise daily. Flexibility starts in the mind, and the mind becomes calmer when you breathe well. Breathing helps you manage emotions and reduces stress when change happens. You could take just 1 minute every day to pause, close your eyes, and take 3 slow, deep breaths. Inhale through your nose, hold it, and exhale through your mouth. Feel your body relax. This habit teaches you to stay present and respond calmly instead of reacting too quickly. Now let's practice together for a few seconds. Take a deep breath in, hold, and breathe out slowly. Again, in and out. Very good. Now repeat softly. I can stay calm and breathe. The fifth habit is learn one new phrase for flexibility. Language shapes the way you think. When you use words that are open and kind, your mind naturally becomes more flexible. For example, phrases like, I can try this, let's see what happens, or it's okay to change are powerful reminders that you can adapt to anything. Try learning and repeating one of these phrases each day. You can write it in your notebook, say it aloud in the morning, or even repeat it during the day when something changes unexpectedly. Let's practice this together now. Say it slowly. I can try this. Again, I can try this. These 4 small words can completely change the way you face challenges. Now let's quickly review the 5 habits together while repeating each sentence slowly after me. I will try a new route this week. Maybe? Let's think about it. I can learn something new every day. I can stay calm and breathe. I can try this. These simple sentences are not only language practice, they are life practice. Each one builds a little more flexibility into your day. You can say them aloud every morning or evening, like a small reflection or affirmation. They remind you that flexibility is not a one-time goal, it is a daily habit. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes to stay calm when life changes direction. Remember, flexibility is not about being perfect. It is about being open, patient, and willing to grow. By adding these small habits to your daily life, you are training yourself to adapt with peace instead of stress. You are teaching your mind to relax, to listen, and to respond with curiosity. So, as you finish this episode, take one small action today. Try a new route. Say, maybe. Read something new. Take a deep breath. Or say, I can try this. Every small step you take brings you closer to a more flexible, calm, and confident version of yourself. One that is ready to face whatever life brings with balance and strength. Reflection questions. Now that we have explored flexibility, its benefits, practical steps, and daily habits, it is time to reflect. Reflection is an important part of learning because it helps you connect what you have heard to your own life. It also gives you a chance to practice speaking and thinking in English. By answering questions aloud or writing them down, you exercise both your mind and your language skills. Reflection encourages self-talk, which is a powerful way to remember ideas and make them real in your life. Here are some simple but meaningful questions you can ask yourself. The first question is, when did I change a plan and it worked? Think about a moment in your life when something did not go as expected, but you adjusted your actions and found a solution. Maybe you studied at a different time and learned more, or maybe you changed your route to work and found something new. Try to answer this question aloud in English, even if it is just one short sentence. For example, you could say, I changed my study time yesterday, and I finished my homework. This exercise helps you recall successful experiences and reminds your mind that change can lead to positive results. The second question is, what small change can I try tomorrow? This helps you think about flexibility in action. Small changes are easier to manage and build confidence over time. You might try something as simple as saying maybe in a decision, speaking English with a friend, or reading a short article on a new topic. Take a moment and say your idea aloud, or write it in your notebook. For example, tomorrow I will try speaking English for 5 minutes with my classmate. When you plan a small step, you create an opportunity for growth and start practicing flexibility in your daily life. The third question is, how do I feel about change? This is a question about your emotions. Reflecting on your feelings helps you understand yourself better and learn how to manage them. Are you excited about new experiences? Nervous? Calm? It is okay to feel any emotion. What matters is noticing it without judgment. You can answer aloud or write a short sentence in English. For example, I feel nervous about change, but I want to try new things. This reflection helps you practice emotional flexibility, one of the key types of flexibility we discussed earlier. When answering these questions, try to speak slowly and clearly, or write complete sentences even if they are short. This not only helps your English but also strengthens your habit of thinking in a flexible way. You can answer all 3 questions or start with just one, depending on your time and comfort. Taking even a minute or 2 each day to reflect can gradually improve both your flexibility and your English skills. Remember, reflection is not about giving perfect answers. It is about noticing your experiences, thoughts, and feelings. It is about connecting the ideas of flexibility to your own life. After a few days of reflection, you will notice that thinking about small changes and how you respond to them becomes easier. Your mind starts to see opportunities instead of obstacles, and you naturally begin to act with more flexibility. So, take a moment now and answer one question aloud, or write one sentence. For example, you might say, yesterday I tried a small change and it worked. Or, tomorrow I will take one small step to try something new. Even this small practice is a powerful way to train your mind, strengthen your English, and build a more flexible and confident version of yourself. Reflection connects learning to action. By asking yourself these simple questions each day, you create a habit of self-awareness, calm thinking, and openness to change. This is how flexibility becomes part of your life, not just a concept you hear about in a podcast. Let's finish this episode with a quick review of the most important points. Reviewing helps your mind remember what you have learned and makes it easier to apply these ideas in real life. Today, we have talked about flexibility, what it is, why it is important, and how to build it step by step. We also shared habits, stories, and reflection questions to help you practice both English and flexibility at the same time. First, let's quickly recall the 5 practical steps to become more flexible. Step 1 is start small. Begin with one small change in your daily life, like changing your route or study order. Step 2 is use yes and thinking. Accept an idea and add something positive to it, especially in conversations. Step 3 is change the plan, not the goal. Keep your goal the same, but find new ways to reach it. Step 4 is learn to manage your emotions. Take deep breaths, pause, and name your feelings when change feels hard. Step 5 is practice flexible language. Use soft, open phrases like, I can try, or maybe, to reduce pressure and open options. These 5 steps are simple, but when practiced regularly, they build a strong, flexible mindset that helps you adapt to life's changes with calmness and confidence. Next, let's briefly remember the benefits of being flexible. Flexibility reduces stress because you stop fighting change. It improves your relationships because you respond calmly to others. It opens more opportunities at work, school, or in life because you are willing to try new things. It helps your mental health by making you more patient and peaceful. And it helps you learn and grow faster because you can experiment, make mistakes, and adapt without fear. Being flexible is not just a skill. It is a way of living that makes life easier and more enjoyable. We also shared simple daily habits that train your flexibility, such as trying a new route, saying maybe once a day, reading a short article with a new idea, doing a short breathing exercise, and learning one flexible phrase like, I can try this. Each habit is small, but repeated consistently, it builds real change. Remember Lena's story. She became more flexible by taking small steps and saying yes to change. Just like her, you can grow your flexibility one small action at a time. Now, for a little speaking practice, repeat this short sentence slowly and clearly. Small steps make me flexible. Say it again, even louder if you like. Small steps make me flexible. This sentence reminds you that you do not need to make big changes all at once. Every small step, every small habit, every small choice adds up to real growth. Finally, think about one small step you can take today. It can be trying something new, using maybe in a conversation, or practicing a flexible phrase. The key is to take action, even if it is small. The combination of small steps, daily practice, and calm reflection will gradually make you more flexible, confident, and ready for life's changes. So remember, flexibility is built through awareness, practice, and patience. Review the 5 steps, practice the daily habits, and take at least one small action today. Every effort counts, and with each small step, you are not only becoming flexible, but also improving your English, your mindset, and your ability to enjoy life. Until next time, stay focused, stay calm, and keep learning. You don't need more time, you need more focus, and you can do it. Thanks again, and see you in the next episode of Code Your English.